big jump. Alright, welcome back to Fire to Fork. And now that my 300 series boy math video / justifying a new car to my wife is done, we can get on with what the hell we're doing with this 300 series. And it's a lot. There's a lot happening here. But first of all, I'm going to take this thing off-road for the first time ever with my mate Dylan, and we're going to go and see what it can do. And during that, I will explain all the modifications that have happened so far. And I'd say this is probably going to be a 3-part series because there are so freaking many things happening to this car. So helping me today is my mate Dylan. Now Dylan, I need some help with 2 main things.
Yeah.
One of them is I need to film from the outside while we do launch control.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you reckon you can skip that?
I'll give it a go.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
I'll have a crack at it.
Pretty rough gig.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is I need some footage of it, like doing some fun shit on sand dunes.
Yeah, righto.
Do you reckon you can handle that?
I can have a go.
Yeah, I'll pay you back.
Yeah, I'll give it a go, man.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
Dylan's got his 200 series here, which is sick. And if all goes well, he'll want to sell it. So this is going to be for sale at the end of the day. And I think what 25 grand?
Yeah.
25 grand for the wheels.
Absolutely.
So the 300, what has happened to it since we got it? Firstly, I just want to say I've just done my first beach run in this thing. It is a riot. Now I want to say every single thing here has been done by Hunter Mechanical. They do the wiring, the installation of all the accessories, literally everything except for something else that's going to happen later on. I'll show you later, but not this. Everything mechanical, electrical, everything has been done by Hunter. It's only ever run the thicker oil, the 530, I think it is, 540, from day one. So it only ever will go to there. Now the great thing about working with a company working with a shop that does everything is you can't go, oh, the Sparky didn't ran that in the wrong place and now it fouls on the Bullbar, and then, well, the guy that fitted the Bullbar didn't leave enough space for the Sparky to do this, and oh, the guy who installed the airbox, he buggered this. There's no finger pointing. Everything is done by them. They've got excellent mechanics. I've actually got to know them quite well. They're really nice guys. And even speaking to them about working there, they really like working there. They get treated well. And it really shows in like the way they do things, the problem solving, all that kind of stuff. I know I'm on YouTube and, I'll probably get, slightly better service, but my friends who go to them, other people who go to them, have had really good experiences with it, and it's just cool to be able to go to one place and get an end-to-end service. It means that like if something breaks, I'm not calling 5 different places and wondering who did what and who put that there, and it's just you call the guys at Hunter and they go, yeah, cool, it's F4 on the Egan power hub and whatever. Ugh, bloody sand. So I definitely recommend, if you can, going to a place like that does everything in a row, but also probably not one of the 3-lettered brands because, yeah, they don't. I've seen a lot of Scotch locks in those workshops. Off-road Animal Toro bar. I think it looks wicked, but I also think they look really weird with standard tires and you need a bit of offset. So yeah, it's a tough bar. It's the same one I got on the Prado. It's a steel bar. I've hit 4 roos with the one on the Prado and it's been fine. I've bent the number plate and bent a little bit of this grill stuff at one stage, but other than that, totally fine. Now, lighting. Laser lamp elites, which are insane. I cannot remember the model number, but it's their flagship spotlight. They're a 9-inch light. They are so freaking bright, it's ridiculous. We've also got an 18-inch Elite light bar in here that fits inside the bull bar nicely, and a 44-inch Triple R laser lamp roof light bar. That thing's off its head. It also can change colour from yellow to white or a combination of both. So can this 18-inch light bar. I showed my wife these lights in action the other day, And she could not care less about spotlights. I was like, please just come out. I want to show you this thing at night. And she even said the next morning, she was like, firstly, so she saw it and went, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. That's like daylight. And then she even said to me this morning, she's like, I keep thinking about how stupidly bright those lights are. Like, they're actually insane. I was just taking some shots of this before, and I had to turn the exposure on the camera so high because otherwise it would just blow out, and it was like painful to look at. They are, but also they're not too white. So that's the thing I don't like. I think if there are a lot of road signs and stuff around, I won't be running these white ones because they'll bounce too much light back. When you run the light bar on amber and the other light bar on amber, and you run the amber fogs, it's beautiful. It's this really nice warm light that's not tiring. You maintain your night vision. I think that's what I'll be using off-road a hell of a lot. And then for long straight drives, it's actually one thing in the Prado, I would like to be able to change the color on the fly and occasionally have white light because it does punch a lot further into the distance. And so having this combination where I can run just ambers and then I can tap into these wildly powerful white lights, that's a really good combination. Now on the side here, we've got the laser lamp 50 watt work lights. So these have amber covers on them and they are switched separately to these fog lights. These are switched as my normal fog lights and these are switched through the Switch Pros as an amber fog that I can switch on separately. Now you've got to be careful with these. These are for off-road use only because if you have them running in the city, that is considered an indicator. So having those two on is like having two permanent indicators on. So not legal for on-road use, amazing for off-road use. They light up this, like, I was surprised how much they light up sort of they're like a ditch light. You know, some people run the ditch lights up here. These things really do that very well. It's a very broad light. Winch, we've got a 13,000 pound winch in there. I'm going to put a Max Trax rope on it and stuff, and I'm going to get a custom fair lead and all that kind of stuff. Underneath, this is the standard off-road animal bash plate, and I've color coded the recovery points because I think it looks cool. Zetify, probably never heard of that. This is made near Wagga in New South Wales. It's an Australian-made antenna, and this is my UHF and my cell booster. So I can't remember which side it is which. One part of it does cell, one part of it does UHF. They're not a cheap thing, but they are a very high quality thing. And because I hate running an antenna here in front of my vision, and particularly my wife really hates it, and Kaon hasn't got another bracket that would have it on an alternate side yet, that's coming. So I decided to run a single antenna that will do both. I'm also going to be doing some testing with the dual antenna system on the Prado, so I'll get back to that later. Basically, these things have a built-in GPS. They know where you are. They only draw about, it's powered, they only draw about 60 milliamps, so like nothing. And it means that instead of your self-eye searching through 40 odd bands, it knows which band is in that area and it tunes to that. So far the performance has been excellent, but I've only just started using it. I'm not going to do a review on anything long term. I will tell you performance, but I obviously can't talk about reliability because I've only had the car for a few days. I can talk about reliability on some stuff because I've used it for years. Now, the cleavage. I think tyres and wheel poke are the automotive equivalent of cleavage. And just showing enough on the edge, so it's a bit of sidewall. You can't just have them fully out, that would be inappropriate. And you don't want them all hidden away because it doesn't look as good. You get the idea, you get the analogy. And I think this looks fantastic. These are a zero offset 35, so it's a Method 703, exactly the same wheel as I've got on the Prado, and a 35-inch Toyo mud terrain. Now, the Methods have bead grip, which we've really put to the test today, and I put to the test for many years in the Prado. Means that the bead stays on extremely well in harsh conditions, and I think these doing very well. I haven't run the Toyos before, but I have run the Nittos, which is the same compound, and very similar tyre, very similar construction. And I've had them for 110,000 Ks, 0 punctures, 0 issues. So really, really, really rate the Nittos and Toyos. They're the same company, if you didn't know that. But yeah, the 35s look wicked. It's engineered for them. They're a very cool thing. The flares are part of the J-Max kit. I may or may not have broken this one a little bit today when I accidentally did a jump. My bad, because it had a little bit of scrub, which we've sorted out on the side of the road. So yeah, that wheel and tyre combination, I think we can all agree, looks really good, but performs really well as well. Now, suspension. This has the J-Max 4.2 tonne GVM kit with the Alpha 2.5s and the in-cab adjustment. Ride quality is excellent, absolutely excellent. I love the adjustability. It took me a little while to get my head around how to adjust it. I've got it on 4 on the rear and 6 on the front. The higher the number, the softer it is. It's a little bit not what I was expecting. So like 1 is really, really stiff, and 10 or 12 is really soft. Anyway.
What a bloody surprise. I was having audio issues. So I've been driving around with this kit in the car for, a few days. And so I can't obviously talk about longevity, except that they have a really good reputation for lasting a long time. Performance-wise, I can definitely talk about that. On-road, unloaded, it's still comfortable. That's really rare for a big upgrade like this. A lot of the other GVM upgrades I've experienced are really stiff and really uncomfortable when you're not really loaded up. This thing with a stock car feels great. It's tight enough and supple enough, particularly with the adjustment, that it's not uncomfortable. In fact, it's a lot more comfortable than standard, and they're a comfy car from standard. The off-road performance is a whole nother level. So the travel is excellent. It's got a diff drop in it. Just the stability of it, particularly when you're going quickly and when you're going slowly over rocks and stuff like that, it has been really good. I have now towed with it since this video. I hadn't towed with it since this video. I can tell you now, it handles towing beautifully. It comes with airbags and it comes with an upgraded rear axle. No other brand comes with the upgraded rear axle, and that's really important because it adds a ton of payload to that rear axle, and the rear axle load is the biggest thing. It's the biggest killer. There is also just about to get 4-ton towing approval on it. Yes, you actually need to tune the engine. You need to do a bunch of other things, including a special extra bracket on the tow bar. But yes, you will be able to do 4-ton towing with the 300s, which is pretty bloody awesome. It's a seriously phenomenal kit. I thought the suspension in my current car, my Prado, was good, and it is. It doesn't compare. This is such a step up. It's I think it's the best performing suspension in any four-wheel drive I've ever been in, as far as I can tell. It's just lovely.
Engine. This is a masterpiece. They go well standard. This thing absolutely hammers. My mate Dylan, who's holding the camera, just had a few drives in it. Dylan, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's very impressive. It's hard not to absolutely pedal it.
Yeah, it goes hard.
Oh, it's insane.
It's
it's insane. It's a fantastic engine.
Yeah, really, I just didn't know they were going to be this good.
No, I didn't think that at all. And
no.
Yeah, highly rated.
Yeah. And he's got a very powerful 200 series.
It's all right, but that's on another level.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So this has had the Just Auto's top level package. It's got the crossover pipe. It's got the, what do they call it? Heat exchanger, which the heat exchanger increases the cooling performance by 54%. It's a hugely bigger heat exchanger than standard because these things run a water to air intercooler, so you need the big heat exchanger. The standard one is way undersized. I can't see it now, but I'll show you, put up some images of it, and the difference is massive. Just Auto's 4-inch exhaust, which sounds actually good, which I didn't expect from a V6. This actually has a good note. Just Auto's airbox. Just Auto's airbox into a Moonlight fabrication snorkel. I really like the Moonlight snorkels. I think they look fantastic, and it makes a good noise as well. So make some good noises if you wind the window down, but it'll also tell you the sound. Very quiet with the window up, but window down. Nice. But it's not noisy when your window's closed. When your window's open, you get a good noise. When your window's closed, you don't get any noise. Well, a tiny noise, but like not annoying at all. And it moves. Performance figures. I don't like talking dyno figures because every dyno in Australia is different. And none of them are, not none of them are calibrated, but comparing one dyno to this dyno to that dyno, and then, do they put smaller tyres on it for the dyno, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk about percentage increase and flywheel. So this thing has gone up 90% in torque. That puts the flywheel torque figure at 1,330 Newton meters. That's American truck standard, and it feels it. Except it's revvy, it's responsive. The gearbox, the 10-speed, has been tuned, and it's freaking great. It's got a lock-up kit, through the ECU, not an aftermarket one, so it's all just tuned in. Tune 0 is an immobilizer, so it just cuts the fuel. Tune 1 is, I believe, an idle up, so it's just to give it a bit more charge. Tune 2 is a single turbo towing tune, so it only runs on the first turbo, and it's designed to give, so there's a bit of a, not a surge, but like it feels a bit different when the thing switches between first and second turbo, and some people don't like that when they're towing, they just want it all linear, so it just goes on the first turbo. I don't mind it. I prefer the second one, which is a lower power tune but with twin turbo, which is tune 3. Tune 4 is a high power tune, and tune 5 is off its head. So tune 5, we're looking at flywheel, hopefully this is right, 500 horsepower at the flywheel. I'll put up if it's wrong, and then 1,330 Newton meters at the flywheel. It's also got lumpy idle, which it's cool for a little bit, but I don't actually like it as much. I might ask for that to be pulled out. It's a cool feature for a bit, but I don't want to pull up to the lights with lumpy idle because I think it's a good way to get pulled over. It's got launch control, which is wild and really good fun, and something I've never thought I'd experience in a four-wheel drive. So I'm just going to quickly show Dylan how to do this thing. So the cruise control buttons, you just hold that up till it goes to 5.
Yep.
And that turns on lumpy idle. So this is the top tune.
Right.
I will explain the other tunes in a minute. I've turned traction control off, put into drive. You put your foot on the brake. You then put your foot flat on the throttle. And the revs are going to go up to 2,800. Just hold there. And then you release. And it moves.
Oh wow. That's a bit on.
What do you think?
That's awesome. 200 series for sale.
So the performance it's so much better than I thought a car could be, a four-wheel drive could be. It flies along the beach. I mean, we found a really nice big empty stretch of beach and we gave it a bit of welly. I mean, yeah, it's addictive. Pulling people out, towing, that kind of stuff. So far, Just Autos has done an amazing job. I don't think anyone in Australia is even close to JA when it comes to tuning these things. I mean, they bought crate motors, they've really pushed it, they've really seen what these things can do, and they've well researched, and the products that are coming out, for a 300 series, I don't know where else you'd go. It's that good. Mirrors. MSA towing mirrors. I had a terrible experience with my clear views. I've banged on about it. They refused to give me a refund despite the fact that they're all corroded and crap and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to throw them in the bin and put standard mirrors back on the Prado. That's how much I don't like them. The only reason I didn't go MSA on the Prado was they didn't have the camera compatibility, which they've just released for the 300s. So these things have this car has 5 cameras. 2 of them are under the wing mirrors. So it's all compatible with the 360 camera and stuff. Very easy and smooth to roll out. I really like that it's a single lens, because when you roll it out, you have to adjust it because this is now on a different angle, but it's all electric. Whereas with the clear views, one was electric, one was not. So you had to go out and manually like push it and get it all. Anyway, probably done enough bagging of them. They are electric, they're a power fold. Just imagine that, but electric, that's what it is. Nice and stiff, they don't rattle, it's great. It has electric side steps. They were on the car when I got it, not staying. They're all right, but they're not good for off-road. As soon as you start knocking them on rocks, they're not going to last very long. May notice I'm using Tyre gear straps on this. This is not some blatant advertising thing for Tyre gear. I left the end of the straps at Hunter, so the standard Bush Company ones are just not here, so ignore them. Terralume work lights. These things are wicked. They're the same ones I have on the Prado. They're dimmable. They don't seem to fill up with water. They've got amber and white. They're just a nice light, and they're really well priced. They're about $70. So yeah, very happy with them. Gone for, again, a front runner roof platform. This is not the slimline one because I want to potentially put something underneath it, but I'll go into that later. On top is an Enerdrive solar panel. It's 190 watt. I'm going to do the electrical system in another video because it is not finished. Bush Company 270 XT Max awning. Same one I've had on the Prado for years. Bulletproof awnings. What can I say? It's got so much space, being the Max, because it comes all the way forward. The standard ones are 50% less room because it comes. The standard one comes like this. Like this in here. That's the line. So you don't get any of this. So the extra 50% of space. What it means is I can put my couch here, have my kids there, and wife and dog, and then I can still cook and do everything here. It does not hit the tailgate. Can you stand there? So we don't have to look in the back and give everything away. Space nicely between the tailgate and the thing. Now, it seems weird to have a 270 and a tailgate. It's a lot more room on this than that. And the 180s, you end up with a gap and rain comes in and stuff. Hopefully take the beep out of this thing later, but I tried to find the beeper and it looked like it was part of a relay that actually controls the boot. I tried to put the K-on shock guards on. Unfortunately, they don't fit over the J-Max shocks. So that's gonna come later. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get a different version. But yeah, good to know. Don't order the K-on ones if you have the J-Max shocks yet. As I said, Moonlight fabrication, 5-inch snorkel. Looks great, sounds great, performs very well. These things are also very tough. I remember back in the day, a guy rolled his GQ and it literally saved him. Like everything else collapsed, but the snorkel was so strong that it actually held up against it and kept the pillar up, which is pretty bloody good. Inside, I'm just going to give you a very basic look. You come in a little bit closer. You will notice it is filthy. It's covered in sand. That's okay because we've got canvas seat covers. So these are super fit ones, same ones I've been running in the Prado for nearly 5 years. I've gone for the canvas. The denim is more comfortable. The canvas is less comfortable for the first week or two, but the canvas you can just wipe down. So, you know, you get a bunch of crap on it, you get a wet cloth, you wipe it down, all good. Also, dog hair doesn't stick into it. It can just be wiped off or vacuumed off. Whereas the denim, and don't even get me started on neoprene. Neoprene is a nightmare with dog hair. Neoprene's probably arguably a bit easier to, no, I actually think this is easier to clean. I've got neoprene seat covers on my wife's car. Well, she's got them. Don't look at this, it's not finished. GME XRS 370 radio. I do have the BT1 kit, but I forgot the controller. It's at home. I'll update that later. Same radio I've been running in the 80 series and the Prado for 7 years, I think. Since it came out. Literally, like when XRS came out, that's when I got it. Also got a handheld, which I'll show you later. Not in there yet. Other than that, I'll go through the other stuff that we've done inside in the next video when we can go through the electrical system, because there's a lot going on. I was saying to my parents the other day, you need actually a lot of complication in order to make camping simple. You need to do a lot of modifications and a lot of components to make it so that you can just get in and press a button and stuff works. So you're not plugging things in and setting things up and hooking things up. Like, there's a lot of modification that goes into simplicity. No one knows that better than the guy holding the camera, who has like 1,000 hours put into the back of his car, but when he rocks up to camp, it just works, doesn't it? Absolutely. He's nodding his head and said absolutely. Brakes. We've got upgraded brakes, not like dramatic. It's not like a big Brembo kit or anything like that. Jason put on DBA rotors and braided lines. It stops a hell of a lot better than a normal one. Very similar to the Bendix kit that I've got on the Prado, which made a huge difference. I still can't believe what a big difference that made. This thing stops a hell of a lot better than a standard 300. It really is very noticeable how much better it is. I should probably talk about the car itself. So it's a GR Sport. Now that comes with factory twin diff locks, which is amazing, as we found out today when I pulled Dylan out. It also comes with a thing called eKDSS. It's the only model of 300 series, and none of the Prados have it, that have KDSS, kinetic dynamic suspension systems. Actually invented in Perth, fun fact. What it means is when you go around corners, it pumps the sway bar up one way and counteracts it. So when you go tightly through corners, how much better is that?
That's so nice. This is actually the perfect little like test.
It's a great little circuit.
Course, yeah.
It's really flat. It feels actually kind of crazy. Like it's because you can feel the weight of the thing. There's a bit of momentum, and it just works. But then when you're off road, it will push wheels down to try and get traction on things. So you've got a bit of a pothole, and it needs to find traction. It will hydraulically push the sway bar down to get that wheel gripping. So it's one of the things that I like the most of any four-wheel drive feature that's been out in the last few years. It's the reason I think that the VX 200 and the Sahara 200s were so good. It almost made me buy a Kakadu Prado, but you can't do GVM upgrades on them. Does the 300 series go well with beer and beach runs? Got the Golden Hour Sour from Beer Fun, which is freaking delicious. Yeah, goes very well. See you in the next one.